Good morning, Coffee and Sports. I am continuing my Oakland 2002 team replay and my Tampa Bay 2002 team replay. We're going to do it this morning with the old Time Sports Complete version and the brand new D66. This is my personal version of D66 football. But first, we're going to have to retrieve the ratings from Rodney's historical tome. So we got to get, again, I think if I remember right, the Raiders are AB, but we'll find them in here, 2002. All right. So Raiders, Oakland Raiders in 2002 are AB. Arizona's up next. They're FF. So this is a good game for me to play fast because I'm just not interested in playing through the whole game of the Raiders beating the snot out of Arizona. But I do believe I'll be using my new D66 personal game with the Packers, BC. They were 12-4 that year. They're BC versus Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are C, of course, and then A defense. So now that we've done that, we've got our ratings. We can move this tome out of the way. All right, so first we're going to go through the Raider game pretty quick. And remember, this version of Time Sports Complete was universal charts. And so we have a matchup chart right here for all the games in the book. However, I put those same charts in here, so I didn't have to do it. I didn't have to go from book to book. All right, so Oakland is an A versus their F. It's going to be an A, so the Raiders will be an A, and F versus B. It's going to be an F. I mean, I could have guessed that, but it's in this little book. This little book's really just personalized charts for how I like to play a full game of football, D66, full football game. And then I have my career athlete stuff jotted in here too. But it's really what I wanted was the full D66 football game from Time Sports Complete with the comeback rule. So this has the comeback rule in it and the new Hail Mary rule. All right. So this one, though, we are doing Fast Sim. Oh, duh. I do need this. I knew there was a reason I needed this. Fast Sim. Here it is, football time. So let's go through this game quickly, and then we'll play the Tampa Bay Green Bay game out. All right, the Raiders lost to New England last week, 6-10 in drive time football. Today we're doing this in what's called Time Sports Complete, TSC. And I have had a few games in here where I varied from drive time to some of my versions of football time. All right, here we go. First, we're going to roll odd. The Raiders will win the kickoff, and odd, yes, the Raiders will take the ball first. And their first score for the Raiders, looking at the A charts, is going to be a turnover. That turnover is an interception. Man, crazy. Arizona picks off Rich Gannon right out of the gate. They're looking at the F chart. They're going to turn over. Oh my God, it's going to be one of those games. And theirs is a interception. Arizona intercepted. So back-to-back interceptions. 3, Raiders are going to get a field goal. So Janikowski is going to get a field goal. And Arizona on the F chart is going to punt. First quarter's underway. Oakland has scored only 9 points in the last 5 quarters. That is not too good. Here we go. Oakland starts the second quarter. They're going to get a touchdown. What kind of touchdown is it? It is a run touchdown. So run TD for Crockett. PAT's good. Raiders are up 10-0. Arizona, too. They're going to turn over again on the F charts, and it will be another interception. So Arizona intercepted. The Raiders take the ball, and 2, they're going to punt. Man, the Raiders' offense just not on track of late. Arizona's going to turn over again, and it's going to be a fumble loss. So they cough it up, and finally, at the 2-minute break, on a short field, the Raiders go to work, and they're going to get a touchdown. And that touchdown is a running touchdown. So Charlie Garner will add to their lead. Folks, the Raiders score 14 in the second. That's more like it. So the Raiders are up 17-0 at halftime. Arizona gets the ball coming out of the tunnel. And they're going to punt. Oakland is going to score a touchdown. And that touchdown is a pass TD, finally. Pass TD. And 6. Arizona's going to finally score a touchdown. How do they do it? They do it on a pass TD. Uh-oh, we got us a fight here in the third. And here we go. Oakland's final drive is a punt of the third. The Raiders get 7. Makes it 24-7 as Arizona finally scores. All right, final quarter. And Arizona will get the ball last, so that's a big deal. Arizona could tie this game or take the lead. Arizona, 4, they're going to have to punt. The Raiders are going to get a field goal. Arizona, touchdown, holy cow. And Arizona's TD is a pass TD. Uh-oh, so they're showing comeback. Raiders, final drive of the game for them, punt. Arizona could make this interesting. No, it's going to be a turnover. And it's going to be a fumble loss. So they cough it up in the final drive of the game, trying to come back. Raiders get a field goal. Arizona scores a touchdown, and it's going to be 27-14, and that's spot on, pretty much. I think the Raiders that year averaged about 29 points a game or something like that. 28 points a game. Can't recall, but there it is. So Oakland will win the TSC game, get back on track. They're going to win. They are 9-2. They're going to win 27-14, and they're back on the winning track. Arizona, not a good football team. Basically, they are FF, and of course that means they're going to be Fs when they play in most time sport games. All right, next up, I will need a football field for this, but I wouldn't actually. By the way, the Big Country Baseball Time book finally showed up. Fantastic. This features Big Country Baseball straight out of the 4.5 book, but it is now accompanied by my advanced game, so you can play a full game of at-bat baseball based on your rated Big Country teams. So that's pretty good. And again, with Rodney's tome, all the Big Country baseball tome, you have all the players in history, all the teams in history. All right, here we go. So this game, so the Raiders are done. They won. They're back on the winning track. They're 9-2. And now we got Tampa Bay, Green Bay. We got to get our matchups. So again, the matchups are here. Green Bay is B versus that A defense. They're going to be a C today. Tampa Bay is C versus that C defense. They're going to be a C today. So it's a CC game. And it's very simple. Again, you'll see why I chose this for my on my own personal custom D66 game. C versus C on the place kicking. So again, this there's no comeback grade here, so we use the C grade. So C versus C, both teams will return kickoffs to the 25. So let's roll here. 1, it will be Green Bay getting the ball. Okay, so Green Bay at Tampa Bay, 0-2, with a D66 Time Sports Complete Football. This is my personal version. So kickoff, Tampa Bay. It'll be Green Bay, 1st and 10, own 25. Here we go. I don't need a football field for this. So again, another way to demonstrate why are these portable? Why did I invent games in a book, so all you need really are a couple dice, pencil, notebook, and you don't even need a football field. You can log it. So let's do it this way. All right, so they're both using the C charts. So we got the BC charts right here, and we go to work. Green Bay goes to work. It's going to be 16. It's going to be a run for 4. And it's going to make it 2nd and 6 at their own 29. There's no defense. It's automated solitaire. 45. 45 is going to be a run for 6. And that's going to make it 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. Very nice. So far, Green Bay's moving the ball down the field. 25 is going to be another run. Wow. 2nd and 7. They're clearly trying to soften up the defense of Tampa Bay. They're pounding Tampa, which is about the only way you could beat that defense. They were so good against the pass. Matter of fact, the year before in 2001, the Raiders destroyed Tampa Bay 48-10 or something, and they ran for over 250 yards on them, which is what I thought they would do in the Super Bowl. But the Raiders lost Barrett Robbins literally on the eve of the Super Bowl, their Pro Bowl center, and that was not the same. I don't think it's the same game plan the Raiders had planned on doing without Barrett Robbins. 21, incomplete, so we got an incomplete pass. 3rd and 7, Green Bay now on their own 38, facing a long yardage situation. They snap the ball. It's going to be a pass for 13 and a first. Pass for 13. It's 1st and 10 at their defenses. Let's see, 8, 19, 11. Yep, it's going to be at the defense. 49. So they flip the field. They're already in Tampa Bay territory. 63 is going to be a 21-yard pass. So they softened them up all right. And now they're marching deep down the field to the 28-yard line of the defense with a 21-yard strike. Tampa Bay threatening. 54 is a run for nothing. 2nd and 10 at the defense's 28. They're in field goal range. It's going to be 42. 42 is a pass for 5, so he swings it out of the backfield to a back. And it is, and this would be fun too to see what the stats look like. Now, if you do game logs, you always have statistics. 36 is going to be a run for 7. Wow, nice. That's going to be 1st down and 10 at the defense's 16. Big run around the end, or right up the gut on that fast defense. You really don't want to run away from them. You almost have to run right at them. I mean, then you'll be facing Lynch as he comes downhill to hit you in the mouth. But that Tampa Bay defense didn't have any weaknesses, in my opinion. 63, touchdown pass, 21-yard strike is a touchdown. So, it's going to be a 16-yard pass, 16-yard TD pass. And the extra point for these guys, C, is good. PAT. And, folks, it is Green Bay 7, Tampa Bay 0. Kickoff, Green Bay. And it'll be it'll be Tampa Bay, 1st and 10, own 25. They both are C's on the kick return chart, so it's right there. I don't have a comeback rating for them. The comeback rating would have to be derived. The comeback ratings aren't in this chart, so we just use the game grade for the comeback grade, which is their place kicking grade. Okay, so first possession, it's going to be a 16-yard TD pass. PAT, there we go. All right, put that over here. Okay, so Tampa Bay goes to work, and they're using the same charts. It's going to be 31, incomplete. Brad Johnson, 2nd and 10. Tampa Bay's had an interesting run the last few weeks. They had lost 4 or 5 games, and they had a bye. And then after Carolina, they won. Then after the bye came Carolina. They won that 7-0 drive time football. So their defense back on track, but here again, their offense continues to struggle. It's going to be a pass for 5, 3rd and 5. So they dink it out of the backfield up to the 30-yard line to Allstott, and then 65 is going to be a big run, handoff to Allstott. 11-yard carry, 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Allstott right up the gut, big run. 33 is going to be a pass for 11 to the big tight end Ricky Dudley, 1st and 10. comes over with John Gruden from the Oakland Raiders. Big Ricky Dudley. They snap the ball. 13 is going to be incomplete. 2nd and 10. These long yardage situations, not ideal for Brad Johnson. 32, pass for 3, dumps it down. It's a pass out of the backfield to Williams for 3 yards. I think it was Williams. Shoot, I cannot remember. 3rd and 7 at the defense's 45. And they're moving into Green Bay territory here. Incomplete. Man, Brad Johnson, 4th and 7. They are not close enough to kick the field goal. Wait a second. Yes, they are. Automatica Grammatica must roll. This has to be above a 4. They got to roll a 5 or a 6. Automatic Grammatica on the field, 4th and 7. Green Bay's defense. If they're going to kick it, they need a 5 or a 6 to make this. They make it. Automatica Grammatica. Big field goal. Grammatica. From the 45, 52. Holy, wait a second. 45. 62-yard field goal. Holy cow. That's one thing I don't think Grammatica could have done. He was not a big leg kicker that I remember, but for now, it's going to be a 62-yard field goal. The crowd here in Tampa Bay erupts as he bangs through. So now it is Green Bay 7, Tampa Bay 3 on the foot of Automatica Grammatica. Holy cow. All right, so Tampa Bay kicks off, and it will be Green Bay, 1st and 10, own 25. Remember, I use static special teams. It's my preferred way to do these kind of fast play games, but it's not difficult to roll the kicks and punts, and as well. First quarter still going. We got 2 drives left in the first. Here we go. Green Bay had a brilliant opening drive down the field, a 16-yard touchdown pass. Here we go, 42. They're going to drop back, and he's going to swing it out of the backfield for 5 yards. Pass for 5. Green Bay, 2nd and 5, own 30. So far, their passing game's starting to get good, too. Here, 21 is incomplete. Spoke too soon. 3rd down. 3rd and 5, own 30. Can Tampa Bay get him off the field? Nope. 65 is going to be a scramble for the quarterback. Run for 11. 1st and 10 at their own 41 as the quarterback takes off and hooks it away from Warren Sapp and gets the first down. But we have an event. So now this particular game, again, this was the one that I talked briefly about in some videos. Why this is personal and most people will not like it is I have static long gains and I have static special teams. So we got an event and we're looking at the raw. You got to look at the raw defense. So the raw defense of Green Bay. The raw offense of Green Bay for an event is a B. Raw defense of Tampa Bay is A. So B versus A is a turnover. We roll to see what kind of turnover. It is 1 to 6. It's quarterback fumble loss. Oh, QB fumble lost. And then we come down here and we look at static special teams, the defensive event chart. So we have a fumble lost. We look at the raw defense of Tampa. They're an A. Their fumble return, 15 yards back from the line of scrimmage. Holy cow. So it's going to be a Brooks FR 15-yard return. So Derek Brooks scoops it up. And it's now going to be Tampa Bay, 1st and 10. And 15 from 41 is 26-yard line. Defense is 26. Tampa Bay's defense strikes again, and they have set up Brad Johnson for a short drive. So we use statics. Static check for events. Static, check for fumble returns, interception returns, and long gains. All right, so Green Bay, QB, fumble lost. Tampa Bay takes over on a short field. Here we go. Can Tampa Bay turn this fumble return by Derek Brooks into a touchdown? 43, he's going to drop back. Pat looks, fires it out. 13-yard strike to McCardell. First and 10 down to the defense's 13. McCardell, one of my favorite receivers of that era. I loved him when he was with the Jacksonville Jaguars too. 45 is a 6-yard run. Damn, Tampa Bay pounding it now with Allstott. Defense's 7-yard line. Here we go. Can they finish? 36. It's going to be a pitch out to the corner. Allstott. 7-yard run TD. And the extra point is good. PAT, that's points off turnovers. It'll be Tampa Bay 10, Green Bay 7. Tampa Bay, we're going to get Allstott, 7-yard run TD, PAT. First quarter's over, folks, and it is 7-10. Tampa Bay getting back on track as they only scored 7 points last week, but they won 7-0. All right, that turns out Tampa Bay's kickoff. Green Bay first and 10 at their own 25. All right, here we go. It's going to be 45. 45 is a run for 6. Second and 4, own 31. So again, they got to get back to pounding the rock. That's how they got down the field in the first drive. They ran well early, setting up that defense. Run for nothing. Third and 4, and they are in a long yardage situation against the best defense in football, and they're going to hand it off up the gut on a draw play, 13-yard rip. So a handoff on the draw, first and 10 at the offense's 44. Beautiful run. Great call against this aggressive defense is the draw play. 33, pass for 11, first down. Ricky Dudley to the defense's 45. They've crossed midfield. Green Bay moving. Green Bay drops back, hands it off. Nowhere. Second and 10 as they stuff at the 45. As they stuff the running back. 32 drops back. Waits. Has no choice. Has to flip it out of the backfield. It is third and 7 to the defense's 42. It's a dump-off pass to their fullback for 3 yards. It is third and 7. And it's going to be incomplete. Fourth down and 7 from the defense's 42. He has to roll a 5 or a 6. They're going to kick it. And no, it's going to be failed. Field goal miss. Let me just put in here. Green Bay. Field goal attempt, no good. 59 yards. There we go, Tampa Bay. And again, I'm playing this like I would if for instance, I carried this with me and was in a hotel right now, in a hotel room. That's all I need, right? Some paper, pencils, this book, ratings. We don't even need a football field to play football. Okay, so it's going to be now Tampa Bay's ball, first and 10 at their own 49. Man, the danger of that kick was now they give the ball to Tampa Bay at midfield. All right, Brad Johnson and company, what do? 51, it's going to be incomplete. So he drops back, looks deep down the field to Keyshawn Johnson. It's not a bad call here. Go deep, didn't happen. It's going to be a run for 4 yards. So they hand it off to Allstott, Williams, third and 6 at the defense. That was offense's 49. Defense's 48. We ran for 4. 47. Damn, defense is 47. Here we go. Can they get the first down? Third and 6, and it's not going to happen. They're going to end up flushing Brad Johnson from the pocket. He scrambles, runs for the first down, gets drugged down from behind. 4th and 6 at the defense's 47, and they're going to punt the ball. Again, for punting, we're going to just look at the punt return, which we use for punt return. We use the defense grade A. Their return man, they use their offense grade B. So A versus B is 42-yard net, and that's it, right? So punt, 42, it's going to be a coffin corner punt. So Green Bay will have it. So it's a coffin corner punt. First and 10 at their own 7. a 5 at their own 5. So they booted it out perfectly to the 5-yard line. So coffin corner punt. Green Bay will take over from their own 5. And man, we got a ball game. This defense now in a perfect spot. If there's a fumble or an interception, it'll be an automatic touchdown for Tampa Bay. So I already know. I can look at my static turnovers. For Tampa Bay, their raw defense is a return of 15 fumbles, it's a sack of 12, and it's an interception return of 35, and it's a block kick of touchdown. So we know that Green Bay's only safe once they get past the 35 of giving up a defensive score. So right now, as it is, if they fumble it, it's a touchdown. If they get sacked, it's a safety. If they get picked off, it's a touchdown. And if they block a kick, it's a touchdown. So Green Bay will not be safe from giving up a defensive touchdown until they get past the 35-yard line. So we know, static, right now Tampa Bay, narratively, what does that mean? Tampa Bay knows they have this team. It's like meat in the water. It's blood in the water for the Sharks. And Green Bay, on the other hand, from game study and film study, they know that they're in deep trouble. They've got to move the ball out of here. So one of those ways that you can express how valuable punting is in games, for people to understand how valuable field position is to the game of football, to the game of rugby, is to have a way to demonstrate that. And so why I like static special teams, static plays, is it's a great way to shine a light on the probabilities that the defense is going to be the next team to score, or I should say the defensive team is going to be the next team to score. So either Tampa will get the ball back and have a short field, or they're going to score on defense, right? So right now, Green Bay would like to punt this away safely or get out. So here we go. 52 is going to be a drop back pass. Nope, he's going to swing it out of the backfield to a back and find room. That's brilliant. 2nd and 3 to their own 12. You got to love that. He drops back, swings it out of the backfield, and they get 7 yards. So they're already 7 yards off the line of scrimmage. Off the original line. It's going to be a pass for 11 and a first down, so they find their tight end in the middle of the field, 1st and 10. Offense is 23. Wow, they only need 12 more to get out of danger of a defensive score. Here we go. Green Bay, nerves of steel, 24, run for loss of 1. There it is. 2nd and 11. They did that play too late. They're at their own 22. Pow, they try to hand it off, and Warren Sapp nice through and quashes that play. 62 is going to be a pass for 9. Holy cow, he is getting the job done. 3rd and 2 at their own 31. 3rd and 2. Can they convert? It's going to be... Nope, there it is, folks. The event I was talking about. And guess what? This is going to be a score if it's an interception. So we already know that this defense, this raw offense is good, but the defense is better. It's a turnover. So they better hope it's a fumble. 3 through 6, it's an interception, and it'll be taken back to the house for a touchdown. Touchdown. Tampa Bay. I was just talking about it. So it's going to be QB intercepted, and it's going to be Barber with a 31-yard pick 6. PAT. Oh, my. QB. QB intercepted. Tampa Bay's cornerback. Pick 6. 31 yards. PAT is good. Holy cow, folks. And Green Bay has the ball next. Tampa will get the ball in the final 2 minutes, maybe. So we keep going as Green Bay now gets the kickoff. So again, you can see how dangerous Tampa Bay is. They're going to score touchdowns. They were almost there, folks. They needed 5 yards to avoid a defensive score. Unfortunately, they pushed out to the 31. They were in 3rd and 2. Back in the old days, they would have punted the ball away. They would have punted the ball away back here on the 23. They would have said, "We're getting this out of here." But modern football, of course, they rarely want to punt at all. But there's an example of what happens if you don't. All right, so here we go. We got Tampa Bay kicking off, and Green Bay 1st and 10, own 25, and we do it again. Wow. So Barber returns a pick 6 for the big bad defense, and there it is. So there's no doubt that the Tampa Bay defense is reflected in this version, right? It's going to be reflected in all my games, but some games you don't always feel that. 31 is going to be incomplete. Green Bay, 2nd and 10, own 25. They're still in danger of this happening again, folks, because there's their 25, right? 25 is going to be a run for 3, so they're going to hand it off, buy some room, but it ain't going to be enough. 3rd and 7 at their own 28. Again, back in the day, a coach would have pumped this ball away right now, get it out of danger. 63, though, it's going to be a beautiful pass for 21 down the far sideline. 1st down, Green Bay, 1st and 10 at their own 49. Beautiful strike. And they're moving. It's going to be a incomplete pass. He tries it again. Again, you're not going to get Tampa Bay twice in a row, folks. You're not going to burn that defense twice in a row. 2nd down, 56, going to be a pitch out for 13. As that's the one thing I believe you could do to this team. If you had to do anything, you needed to run right up the gut on this fast defense. 1st and 10. To the 40. To the defense's 39. Wow, they're threatening. They need to, because Tampa Bay has got a 17-7 edge right now. 52 is going to be a pass for 7. He dinks it down out of the backfield. 2nd and 3. Defense is 32. They are threatening. They're in field goal range. Ooh, 15 is a run for 2. They hand it off up the gut. 3rd and 1 at the defense's 30, excuse me. This is crazy. Last time it was a 3rd and short. They threw a pick 6. Nope, it's going to be a handoff up the gut. They fight through, and after he drags players, it's going to be a 1st and 10 at the defense's 23. 7-yard gain for the fullback. It's going to be another run, this time for 1, as Tampa Bay shuts that down. 2nd and 9 at the 22. 26 is going to be a handoff for 5. Wow, they're smart. They're smartened up. They're pounding the rock. 3rd and 4 from the defense's 17. Here we go. Can they get the first? 25 is a handoff for 3 on a draw play. Not enough. Green Bay, 4th and 1 at the defense's 14. They're down 17-7. They missed the field goal, and then they threw a pick 6. You got to go for it. This defense, I mean, how often are you going to be able to get this deep in territory and not go for it? 4th and 1, they're going to go for it on the 14th against the best defense in football. And 26 is a perfect handoff up the gut. They find room, they make space. He twists out for 5 yards. Green Bay, 1st and goal from the defense's 9. The crowd here in Tampa on their feet roaring, trying to aid their defense in a big stop. Nope, run for 4 more. Unbelievable. Green Bay, 2nd and goal, defense is 5. They have run the ball. Check this out. Green Bay, after that pick 6, they have run the ball 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times this drive. They've run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times in a row. Green Bay is wearing out this speedy, undersized defense. Touchdown, a run for a touchdown. So we're going to have halfback, 5-yard run TD. Extra point is good. And the crowd stunned as Green Bay has figured it out. 5-yard run TD, PAT. That's going to make it Tampa Bay 17. Green Bay 14. What a game we have. Yep, because Tampa Bay got the pick 6. Oh, yeah, right, 17. That's right. So the pick 6 made it 17. 17-14. Green Bay will be kicking off. And Tampa Bay, 1st and 10, own 25. Wow, what a drive. They had 10 straight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 straight runs against this undersized front 7 of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That is genius. My Lord, I need to tally stats at the end of this game. The great thing about doing a game log is you always have statistics. Always. You know, if you play possessions, you're always going to be a few plays shy, but you're going to at least have some stats. If you play out the full 30 tick clock like you would in Apple, you would have perfect statistics. If I do say so myself. All right, here we go. Tampa Bay, 1st and 10 at their own 25. And just so you know, Green Bay's raw defense is a C versus their C, so it would be a sack. So Tampa Bay will not turn the ball over in this game, right? They could if I go to the fast charts to wrap up like the second half, but if there's an event for Tampa, it's going to be a sack, and that's it. So Tampa knows, I know, as a coach, as a player, I know that Tampa is not going to turn the ball over today. So that's the good thing about, it takes some of the mystery out, and it takes some of the dynamism out, but the point of this is to know at a glance what each team's going to do before it happens. And it just speeds up play, and also it confines this defense not being great against this, is not going to get a cheap turnover. All right, 34. 34 is going to be an incomplete pass. Wow. Brad Johnson, 2nd and 10, own 25, starts off with an incomplete pass. 23, it's going to be a pass for 9, Ricky Dudley. Don't ask me why I think that's Ricky, I just do. Out to the 34-yard line. 3rd and 1. John Gruden talking to his quarterback here. Final 2 minutes. He tells him we don't want to make a mistake. Get that first down. Keep moving. Yep, it's going to be a handoff to Rick Allstott. Busts through, and there's just too much power as he drags defenders. It's going to be a first down, 11-yard run out to the 45. John Gruden with a fist pump as he charges down the sidelines, watching Allstott's legs grind out yardage. 14 is going to be a run for loss of 2. They hand it off to Williams, 2nd and 12. So 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Another run for -2. Green Bay now blitzing. Green Bay now blitzing the gaps is hit them for 2 losses in a row at their own 43. Now their own 41. They've lost 4 straight yardage. Yep, 3rd and 14. Gruden is going ahead and kill clock. He's just going to take a knee. Take a knee. There it is. So he's going to take a knee and wrap up this first quarter. So it's going to be kill clock. On 3rd and 14, there's no reason to do any more. All right, so Green Bay ends up scoring 7, made it 14. Unfortunately, prior to that, Tampa Bay's defense got one of their scores of the year, a pick 6, and it is 17-7 at halftime. Now, let's go ahead, for the heck of it, and just wrap this up before my camera sputters out on me. Let's wrap this up using the fast play charts. Again, this particular book does not have the fast play scoring charts in it. It's meant solely for you to use with a Time Sports Complete. And football, here we go. Let's wrap up the first half. Again, Tampa Bay with a 3-point lead. And Tampa gets the ball to start the second. And here we go. They're looking at the C. They're both looking at the C chart. So it's a pretty good, it's a 50-50 chance each team will score on a drive. It's going to be a punt. I say that, and Tampa promptly punts. Green Bay can come back here, folks. Nope, punt. So the defenses take over in this third quarter. It's going to be punt. So Green Bay's defense is doing everything they can against this C offense. And punt. Third quarter goes without any action. 0-0. Unbelievable. Fourth quarter underway. Tampa Bay riding a 17-14 lead into the fourth quarter. Can they get more? The cannons sound. They get a field goal. Automatico Grammatica hits a field goal. And the cannons go off. Here we go. Punt for Green Bay. Oh, no. Tampa Bay, can they add to their lead? Nope, they're going to turn it over. There's where the turnover can happen, and it is a fumble lost. Quarterback, fumble lost. Green Bay's final drive of the game. Now, they're free to use their comeback grade, which would be game grade for these guys, which is C. Now, hardly worth it, right? So we're going to go ahead and play out. And we're going to play because they got a better chance to score something on the C chart. Oops. Oh, they turn it over, and it is a fumble. Quarterback fumble lost. Tampa Bay with the final drive gets one more roll, and 2 is a punt. It's going to be a punt End of game time expires, and that's it. It's over. Tampa Bay adds a field goal in the fourth, and their defense forces 2 punts, a fumble, and gets the job done. 14-20. Tampa Bay is going to win 2 in a row after a very rough mid-season performance. Wrong team. Man. There we go. Let's move that out of the way. So Tampa Bay against a formidable opponent is going to get the win. They're going to be 7-4. And they won this one 20-14 after winning in drive time football 7-0. This is Time Sports Complete Mix. I did fast and the D66 personal game. And there we go, man. Tampa Bay 7-4. They get the job done, and they stay on track to get into the playoffs and their chance to return as Super Bowl champs. So that team replay is going pretty good. 7-4. I don't remember where Tampa was at this point. I think they were a little better than that. They might have been 8-3 or something. But either way, I actually had a chance to demonstrate the personal D66 game. So that's that. And we got some stats here. Of course, I didn't finish the game, so the stats are going to also be irrelevant. But I've talked about that before. I'm not a stat guy. Not anymore. I was growing up, but all right. So the Raiders 9-2. They get a 27-14 victory over a very, very bad Arizona team, an FF rated team from the historical Tome. And they're on track to do better than they did in real life. They've got the New York Jets next. This was a team they would face again in the playoffs, if I remember. Yeah, that's right. I wrote it down already. So if we repeat as winners, I would put us right into the replay. So New York will be the first team we face. If we do enough to win to get into the playoffs, it would be New York. I would just play it out, assuming these records have adjusted to give us the same chances. When I say replay, I'm literally going to play out. Now, if the Raiders ended up in this replay 5-11, then I would stop. Or 8-8, I would stop. But if they're a winning team, I'll put them in the same boat and just assume they would win the division in tiebreakers or something. So they will see New York again. So that'll be a big game, as that's going to project. They've already beaten Tennessee 23-20 in a tough game. So those two we know are tough. And then we know what happened in real life. Tampa Bay destroyed them. So we still have San Diego, Denver, Kansas City. That'll be a repeat of what we've already seen in the season. Not a repeat. I mean, we already kind of know what those results could look like. It's Miami and New York are the only unknowns left on this chart, and of course Tampa Bay. So that's fascinating. Tampa Bay, on the other hand, now has New Orleans, and in real life, I think they split with New Orleans. Or actually, no, in real life, New Orleans beat them both times. Here, New Orleans lost 28-9. But I know for a fact, in real life, I think New Orleans beat them in overtime. I think that was an overtime performance. And then later, I believe New Orleans offense somehow beat them again. So they're going to be facing at New Orleans. That's going to be a big game. In Atlanta, who did beat them, that was their first loss of the year here in a 14-3 game, is that Tampa Bay offense again vanished. Tampa Bay has only lost really when their offense just doesn't show up. They did have the Minnesota game where Minnesota scored 35 on them, which is an aberration, really. In real life, this game was 34-28 the other way, 34-24 the other way. So it was a high-scoring game in real life too. But Detroit, I cannot tell you anything about the real-life games. I don't think they've played Detroit yet. No, they only played Detroit once in 2002. I'm going to have to double-check that. Yeah, I guess that would be true. Then Pittsburgh, they'll get to wrap up their run of the AFC North teams, which they have totally destroyed. And then they'll finish with at Chicago. So that'll be interesting. And then we got San Fran, who they have not met in the regular season. Philadelphia, who they did meet and beat them 24-7. And then they'll face the Oakland Raiders, if all stays true through the replay. Fantastic. So this is what the D66... remember, I had no plan on distributing this. This was personal. This was for me. That's why there's no language on the cover, because it's meant to just be for me. I wanted a handy book. And that's why I got two, because one goes on my bookshelf, one will travel with me. I did finally get the Big Country Baseball Time game in. This is beautiful. This is the really quality paper I was talking about. This is that coated, high quality paper. It's beautiful, glossy cover. This book will last you forever. It's got the Big Country version, Big Country Time Sports version 4.5, Big Country in it, and then the advanced rules, which had been tweaked. So I've tweaked and refined the advanced rules, and now I got a Big Country baseball game you can play with my original abstract rules, career mode, and you can also play every at bat. So that's done. And then this again had been republished, but I've since decided I don't think I need to sell all these games. So much of these are already just obsolete. It's like, why am I selling this? I already have the better versions in other books. So it's like, I don't think I need to. I love the cover though. Time Sports Complete with the old rally. This has auto racing. It's not rally racing, but I love the idea that you're racing around in old Studebakers on dirt roads in these old racing games. Anyway, it can be fictional racing. It doesn't have to be anything other than that. Thank you for watching. This has been Sports and Coffee. And we are wrapping up that 0-2 campaign for both Tampa and Oakland. It's going great. Bye-bye.